So we all know that the Tyr revolver is absolutely broken at the moment, the Snakeshot ammo. But what if I told you don't need an akimbo Snakeshot build to actually make this gun potent? What is going on, everybody? I am Pokepod. Welcome back to Pokepod's Workshop, the COD Lab Edition. I have some thoughts on the Tyr Lab. I don't know the future of that at the moment, so for now, this is the only thing that's going to be running. We'll see what 2024 holds. And yes, I got social rotator going up there again. Thank you guys so much for your love on the last couple COD videos. I really am glad that you're seeming to enjoy my builds. Hopefully, if you've put those builds to use, they're doing you some good, much like they've done for me. Today, I'm going to show you two Tyr builds that I made. You know, the super broken revolver that is actually kind of not as useful now that the snake shots are being vaulted, but I wanted to look for a way to make this thing usable, viable, hopefully become a staple of your arsenal in both Warzone and multiplayer without having to rely on those broken ammo rounds. So with that being said, let's go take a look at what I cooked up. So the first build I've cooked up, as you can see here, is a ranged build, which you might think is kind of weird for a handgun to try to build this thing ranged, but if you actually use the Smoke Maker blueprint in this season Battle Pass, it actually kind of comes built for range. I messed with it a little bit. This is my build, but the optic, the barrel, and the trigger all come automatically on the blueprint, so it's a great place to start. But this build is designed for obviously long range. It's not really designed actually for recoil. The way that the Tyr works, I've learned, is it doesn't matter how quickly you hit that trigger, the revolver actually has to come back down before you can shoot again. So, as you can see here, the build is as we have the Sigurd's Fist rear grip. Now what this does is it doesn't help with ADS or anything. It actually really just helps with your aim idle sway, and look, I believe it's flinch resistant as well. Now for a ranged weapon, aim idle sway is actually something you need to worry about. That is when you're ADSing, see the gun kind of doing the little sway thing. Buffing your aim idle sway is the best. Now, then we've got the Corio RV500 optic. This might almost only be equipable for this gun. It comes with the blueprint. This is a 4.8x scope. So this is huge for a pistol. They're having some good downrange visual with this scope. Pair it with the ZU-16 heavy long barrel to add more range. The 12.7x or times 5.5 millimeter. I'm not a gun person. I read that all entirely wrong. Sure, apologize. I'm also gonna probably say all of the Norse mythology names wrong. Forgive me. But the high grain ammo helps again with the range. It does kill the recoil, but as we said, not really that important. Finally, the Uller's Fury trigger honestly is a bit of a key here. So if you've ever used the Tyr, like just the base Tyr, you'll notice when you pull the trigger, there's that slight delay before it fires, just because of how the gun is designed. Uller's Fury increases your fire rate and eliminates that little bit of wait between pulling the trigger and actually firing. It will just completely cut that. So now that I've shown you the build, let's see it in action. So to best demonstrate this build's capabilities, we're not going to focus on either of the first two dummies. We are going to focus on this one. And as you can see, even with the ADS penalties from the long barrel, the optic, kind of the setup, it's still pretty snappy. But we're going to focus on this one down here. Now you are going to see kind of that sway going right there. That's what you want to work on with the aim idle sway. This is actually not terrible because you have the focus ability. So when you focus in, it stops immediately. So if you want to see how powerful this thing is, that's a 50-meter target right there. One shot to the head. This thing, now granted that is 0 plates. If we put 3 plates on, focus in. 1, 2. It's a 3-shot. But as you saw, it's boom, boom, boom. That Uller's Fury trigger is key to the build. Now the second build that I want to show you is a mobile build. This is definitely not built for range. This is built to kind of get up close. Think your standard pistol range. This thing has an effective range from 5 meters to 40 meters. So again, we're losing that distance we had with the last build, but this is a much faster build. So kind of the whole thing behind it is this unlock light barrel. Yes, it cuts down your range. It actually doesn't cut your range that much. Again, we're not worrying about recoil control with this, especially when you get up close in like multiplayer. This is dealing enough damage to one-shot most people. This, though, whole reason this is good is the movement speed and the ADS. The FJX diode 70 for the laser, the SL skeletal vertical grip for the underbarrel, the Ollie's Regret trigger, not the Uller's Fury, and the Frigg's Embrace rear grip. Now the reason I went with Ollie's Regret is because if you go with Uller's Fury, you lose a little bit of that sprint to fire speed, and you lose the aiming idle sway. If you go with Ollie's Regret, you gain both of those, or you gain, aiming idle sway, and you're not losing anything to sprint to fire, you're just losing your hip fire spread, which matter in this build. So, let's see this in action, shall we? Now that I've also remembered to turn on my capture card audio, forgive me for that. Let's see how this works. First, snappy. Very snappy. One shot to the body, down. 20 meters, same thing. One shot to the body, down. It's snappy. Turn around, there's really no movement lost there. So, that is, ladies and gentlemen, I should say, both of my non-akimbo Snakeshot Tyr builds. I actually really like this gun. For multiplayer, it's really good. Even for Warzone, it's not that bad. I have it on one of my loadouts. I've used it, and it still hits pretty hard. It's good for, getting up close, maybe flanking somebody that your team has been shooting at, and you can finish them off. The one negative is there is no suppressor available for the Tyr, at least not that I've found. So you will always show up on the minimap. But I still like using it, and I hope you guys like using these builds. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, I don't know what's going on with the Tyr Lab. Keep an eye out on the channel for that. I've got my socials rotating up there. They are also now always down in the description. Don't forget also to hop on over to the Kick channel, or the Kick streams, I should say, kick.com/pokepod. If you want to watch me play Call of Duty live, I play a lot of Search and Destroy with my moderator, Slayerina, and kind of mainly her community, but a little mixture of both of ours. I do play Warzone from time to time. I think now that the Snakeshots are kind of vaulted, I will be getting more into that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I will see you in the next video.